On the phone with us from the Van Halen News Desk, a very old friend of mine, Eric Senich. Good morning, Senich.
Finster.
This is a big week of history for Van Halen. Go ahead and tell us why.
1984 was released on this week, 37 years ago.
37 years ago.
Yeah. So when you reached out to me, we do this once a month deal, and you said, "What do you want to talk about?" And I said, "Well, 1984 anniversary." And I threw it out to you. I said, "We can talk about whatever song you want to talk about. What do you want to pick?" And you picked what may be my favorite Van Halen song of all time, "Hot for Teacher."
Wow, that's your favorite, really, of all time. That's fun. That's a great one.
Yeah, I think it's just the band firing on all cylinders, not just musically, but the video. Let's start with the beginning of the song, that legendary opening from Alex, one of the greatest drum openings in rock history. And Alex, what he did was he strung together 4 bass drums to come up with that opening. And one that's interesting is the end of the song. So the end of Hot for Teacher, that big dramatic ending, that comes from a demo from the band's club days, a song called Voodoo Queen.
Wow.
So if you look that up, Finster, it's on YouTube. You can find it. It's called Voodoo Queen. You got to listen to the song from start to finish, and you'll pick up on it. Voodoo Queen also later became Mean Street. So portions of that became basically 2 songs. Yeah.
That's my favorite Van
as
Halen song of all time. Is Mean Street might be the most perfect song ever written.
Fair warning is most will say is their best album.
Right now,
Getting
back
to Hot for Teacher.
Yeah.
How about just, Diamond Dave, man? And what he did was he brought in, actual school desks and chairs, set up the bottles and cans in the studio, basically set it up like a little schoolroom just to get the band into the part. And Ted Templeman later said, usually bands wouldn't do that, but Dave, with his creativity, was always willing to go that extra mile. And it wasn't just enough for him to sit there in a studio around a microphone and pretend they're in a schoolroom. He had them actually in a makeshift schoolroom. So when you hear those little interludes, Dave doing the class dismissed and, all that stuff.
I don't feel tardy.
That's right. I guess we should get to the video because the video is freaking legendary, man. It may be the greatest video of all time.
I mean, that's a great argument.
And it was filmed over a 4-day period at John Marshall High School, which is in Los Angeles, California. And the school had been closed prior to that, and the city basically didn't have funds to reopen the school. So the band contributed an amount undisclosed to help reopen the school. And the voice of Waldo, do you know who the voice of Waldo was, Vincent?
No, that's a great trivia question.
Phil Hartman, the late, great Phil Hartman of Saturday Night Live.
Come on.
Oh, Mom, I'm not like other guys.
Oh.
I'm nervous and my socks are filled. Phil Hartman, man. That's so... All right, now, I want to give you the next piece of trivia, but I know it's not okay to drop some 4-letter words here. You're going to have to beat this out, okay?
Go ahead.
I want everybody to go to YouTube and watch the Hot for Teacher video and look closely, because in one classroom scene where the teacher's dancing on the desk, there's a blackboard, and there are some numbers on that blackboard, and the numbers are 20, 9, 8, 19, 25, 12, 15, and 8. Those numbers correspond to a letter of the alphabet. If you read the encoded word from right to left, it spells out, holy shit.
I want to know who the first nerd was that sat down and cracked the code.
That wasn't me. It's in the Van Halen Encyclopedia, which I highly recommend. The Van Halen Encyclopedia.
Wait a second. There's a Van Halen Encyclopedia?
You didn't know this?
Oh, my God.
Where the hell have you been, man?
I'm ordering that today. Oh, I can't wait. Eric Senich, the living Van Halen Encyclopedia. Go ahead, plug the news desk, plug your podcast. Take the last 10 seconds for self-gratification.
You got it, man. VHND.com. Sammy and Michael Anthony are out promoting their new all-virtual album, all covers. So we're always keeping up to date on what's happening with all the guys. And VanHalenStore.com, that's where you get all your Van Halen merchandise. And then if you want to listen to the podcast, it's Discovery with Eric Senich. You can just Google it. You'll find it everywhere. And one of these days I'll have to have Finster on my podcast.
Yeah, then people will finally have a reason to listen.
That's right.
All right. Senich, thanks, man.